Thanks to EA for the game code. Hey lovelies, it's Kate. Welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. It's time for another mansion, of course. And again, it's a 64 by 64 mansion. Now that I'm back to building, I just feel so inspired to build mansions all the time. You know that's my favorite thing to do in build mode in The Sims 4. So yeah, it's time for another mansion. This one is also super spacious. It's really big, and this one has lots of bedrooms, as you will see. So it not only looks big from the outside, it actually is very spacious, because sometimes you use all the space for landscaping. A build looks quite big, but then on the inside it's rather compact. But this one kind of has both, like a huge garden and a quite spacious interior. And here I'm creating a custom round shape. Who would have thought? Once again, I'm using the cube from the Desert Lux kit to create a custom round shape. I've used a round rug to have a guideline. For some reason, I love to use this base game rug whenever I need a round guideline. So I've built this round room in the center, which is supposed to be the eye-catching feature of this build. It's right in the center of the bag. And yeah, I just wanted to have a flower bed right in front of it, which has the same shape as you can here see. So I've placed my base game rug in the center of the curved room, so it aligns nicely. Yeah, and I then just added the Desert Lux cube. I've done this so many times, and in the past I always used the cube from Get Famous. So if you don't own the Desert Lux kit, you can use the cube from Get Famous. You can see that I've added a lawn type of floor, so it makes sense as a flower bed. And you can see that in some areas I wasn't able to apply the floor, and this sometimes happens when it comes to curved rooms. I wanted this to look as perfect and polished as possible, so I simply once again used the Desert Lux cube, and I just wanted to hide these areas. I sized it down and I then just placed it. I've talked about this in multiple videos, but you can freely rotate objects, you can size them up and down. You don't need any cheats for this. You just have to use the correct keys. For freely rotating, for example, you have to use the Sims 3 camera, and then when you hold down Alt on your keyboard and your left mouse button, you can move the mouse and rotate freely. I've made lots of tutorials about the Sims 4 build mode. You can check out the playlist. The link should be in the description box, but you can always find the playlist on my channel, and there I teach you step by step how to do this. It's very simple. You don't need anything for this, just the base game. And yeah, if you want to learn this in detail, you can check out my tutorial playlist. I then landscaped a bit. I added these beautiful flower bushes from Cottage Living. They can be found in debug, and I've added them to the round flower bed. I also added some trees, a roof, and I slowly expanded the build step by step. And I wanted to have a beautiful round pool. I mean, I'm obsessed with round shapes in this game, and I really have to say I'm so pleased with the round pools. I was also so hyped when the curved rooms were announced, and I've been using them, but the pools make me even more happy. They are everything I always wanted and more. I've created so many round custom shapes. There are limitations. You can't curve them inward and stuff, but they are really amazing. I didn't encounter any issues, and ever since the update came out, I've been using them. Like when you look at my recent mansions, the round shapes are everywhere. It's so cool. And I love this because when someone watches this, you can just recreate this easily. It was really tedious to create round pools before. For those of you who are new here, in the past I simply used an object like the Desert Lux cube, and I did the same that I did for the round flower bed here to create a pool. So I would create a round custom shape, and I would then just fill in the area. And in a way, I actually did this here because we cannot curve the pool inward, and my main objective was to just have this round flower bed, but because I expanded the pool and the pool now reaches the flower bed, it kind of looks curved inward, but it's not. You can see this like in the back, it's just simply a diagonal wall in the pool, but the flower bed creates the illusion of a round pool, and I didn't even notice this, but now that I'm rewatching this, I realized that I actually used the old trick to create some round pools, but I mean, you can see the curved pool in the front. As always, I wanted to have multiple levels. I wanted this build to look as exciting as possible, and as you will see, this time I'm heavily using platforms for this. I sometimes like to have a walkout basement situation. I've talked about this in recent videos where you can like use a basement and you simply remove the ceiling, or you use the trick where you build the room, the floor piece on top, and you move it down. You know the drill. But here I simply really just build a room at the bottom, and that's it, and then just built the pool in it. I just knew that I would like to have this round pool like not sitting in the ground, but I once again wanted to remove the walls in front of it so it's like exposed, and I was able to add windows. I think it looks so cool. I'm just having the best time with these pools recently. And yeah, here I'm building the center part of the build, and I wanted to have some trellis. As you will see, I'm going to use base game fences to have some trellis. And I at first wanted to have like a smaller gap between the tower and the part that I'm working on right now. But later on, I noticed that it's like looking a bit crammed in. It looked a bit just not good, and I changed this so at one point the gap between the tower and the rest of the build is going to be like maybe 2 tiles bigger. And yeah, here I'm using the platforms. I simply attached a platform to this area, I raised it a lot, and I added some stairs so this area would be accessible. I used columns, I added this roof on top, and this will be a barbecue area. So I'm going to add like a outdoor summer kitchen, and you will see that I'm like adding a chimney on top. And at first I thought, okay, this is like not looking very realistic because there's nothing below. So I decided to place an exhaust hood right below the chimney. So below there will be a stove, and yeah, then it all makes sense. And your Sims can just cook on the outside. They can have a barbecue. I'm going to put a dining table there, and the platform sits at the very bottom, and there's a level above. So this is why I basically stacked 2 walls to create these like columns in the corner. So the roof is not directly sitting on the bottom floor, but there's like a level in between. This was confusing when I was like looking at this and furnishing, and I don't know, I just confused myself for a second there. And this is also why I'm raising the columns here the way I do, because I didn't want to stack 2 of them above each other. It sometimes looks so weird. Sometimes I just want to have like one long consistent one. It just looks better. And here I'm just decorating, landscaping a bit. These trees, I've been using them so much, and I can tell you since when I've been using them, ever since Growing Together came out, because this is where these trees were introduced. They are part of Growing Together. They can be found in Live Edit or Debug, and they are like so stunning. They are my favorite trees ever in this game. Like, I never thought that I would like have such a focus on a tree in this game, but I do. They are so stunning, and I use them all the time. And I also think in combination with palm trees, they look so dreamy. It just works. It just makes sense. And talking about palm trees, I've used the ones from Lovestruck, which come in a planting pot. You can like size them up or down, and they have like, they look perfect. The default size is also amazing, and I love to use them like for the pool area, for example, or here I've like placed a smaller version in the barbecue area. It just looks cool because when you place a regular palm tree, it just makes sense when it just sits on the ground. But this is like a palm tree, a compact one in a planting pot, which is so cool for like furnishing. You could, of course, also use a base game palm tree, for example. You can find planting pots in debug from the base game, and you could like create something similar yourself if you only have the base game. This is like just a small idea in case you don't own Lost Track, for example. And this is also a cool way to like create something similar for a patio, a pool area or something. And yeah, here I just built the trellis I've talked about, and I've placed a vine from Outdoor Retreat from Debug on top. I love this. It's like the perfect object for trellis, and I've been thinking about making a video about my debug and live edit favorites, and I could then place them and upload the like build to the gallery, so you could just grab it and you like have some of my favorite items, just some stuff that I would recommend. I don't know if you would be interested, but I was thinking about making a video like this. And I've used this beautiful fence from the Castle Estate kit, and at first glance it doesn't make a lot of sense because it's a fence that you would expect in a castle on top of a wall, but for some reason it just works. I love this. And I created some round fountain first, but I didn't like it. I just got rid of this and I removed it, so the garden area will be quite different. And I also added this area because the build just looked like something was missing on the right side. So I just built a room at the bottom and I used these beautiful arches and also a fence and a spandrel. And this is a very open area. I'm going to use lawn for this, and I'm just going to place some garden furniture there. So this is also like part of the garden. Yes, Sims can step out the living room and just relax over there. And I just thought it looks cool. And you saw how I created the flower bed on the left side using platforms right next to the barbecue area. And I was so obsessed with the look that I like continued this all around the lot, even in the front. I've placed the same trees and flowers there. I've consistently used the ones from cottage living here. For whatever reason, I don't like to combine too many different types of flowers or bushes, but when I see how other simmers are landscaping, I really love how they combine different types of bushes, trees, and flowers. It looks so lush and overgrown and kind of like a cluttered garden. It's like nature's cluttering. I don't know, like some simmers do this so well, and I'm so obsessed with this, but I can never get it right. So I always like select a couple of items, but on the other hand, I mostly go for this very polished look, not very overgrown and natural, if that makes sense. But I wish I could pull this off because it looks so cool, but I'm not really good at this, like combining all these beautiful flowers. I've sized some of the flowers up and some down, so it like doesn't look too similar and it looks interesting. This is the front. You can see that the stairs are not aligned with the front, and this bothered me, but I had already used all the space on this lot from left to right, so I had no way of like moving everything a bit to the right so it would align. So it is what it is. I still wanted the floor itself to align with the front of the lot, so it looks like this, and it kind of bothers me, but I don't know. I feel like I just had to compromise here because either the stairs are centered or the front is centered. I don't know, it was just confusing. I hope that's fine, but it is bothering me too. I didn't plan this out well enough. And sometimes you're so far into building a mansion or like any build that some stuff is like really difficult to change. Also, I hate so much when I'm working on something and then like something is not symmetrical or centered. And the worst thing is like when you're working on this and you don't notice anything, and hours into building you look at this and you think, okay, something is not right, and then you have to make big changes. This is bad. And yeah, here I'm just doing the same that I did in the back basically. So I'm just adding the same windows, decorations. I'm adding like cool roof details so it just looks the same as the back. And I feel like when you are building in Del Sol Valley, you can see the extreme difference light makes. Like the back looks amazing. And if I would rotate the lot, the front would also look so much better. It looks so flat, no shadows. It just, the light in the Aso Valley is perfect, but sadly, like only from the back, which is cool because this is like the fancy garden. It's where you have the view of the city. It's like obviously inspired by Hollywood, LA, all that stuff. So it makes sense, but at the same time, I wish the front wouldn't look as flat. And yeah, here I've removed the round fountains, I've added some furniture, and also these rocks, which are from the Riviera Retreat Kit, which came out recently. And yeah, here I'm already finishing. I just worked on the floor plan. You can here see it. It's very simple actually. And I never thought that this would happen, but this is a closed off kitchen. This is not an open floor plan. This is a kitchen in a relatively compact room. I never thought we would see the day that I'm not working on a gigantic kitchen in an open floor concept mansion, but here we are. It's a regular kitchen, and right behind the kitchen, as you will see, is the beautiful curved room, which I started the mansion off with. And I decided to use this big, beautiful sun-flooded room to just have a lovely big dining room. So this is really for entertaining guests and everything. I just wanted to use this space to create a beautiful, luxurious dining room. And the outside looks kind of regal and luxurious. I also think that the castle estate kid fence is like adding to the whole castle vibe. It looks like a Mac mansion with some castle vibes, I guess. I don't know. And I just thought, okay, why not like take it a step further and just add this beautiful floor decoration from Get Famous. It's basically a rug and it comes in different swatches and shapes, and you can like create a pattern like this on the floor, which is amazing for castles, for really over the top mansions. Get Famous is generally such an amazing pack. I love Del Sol Valley. I'm working on mansions a lot on these lots. I think it makes sense because these lots were designed for mansions. Like, these are the hills, you know? These are like the celebrity mansions in the US, which are like located in the hills, and you see the city at the bottom and stuff. So I feel like it just makes sense and it matches the vibe. A lot of the times you just want to make sure that a build really matches the like its surroundings and the world it's in. It all has to make sense. And yeah, I think this is why I'm building a lot in Desert Valley probably, and this is why I love Get Famous and also a lot of the objects. But like I've talked about this before, I feel like the style has changed a lot. When you look at new items from new packs, they look so detailed, the textures and the meshes, and they've like really like upped the quality. The items are so amazing, and I feel like Get Famous is amazing, but you can already see that there's like a difference. Like the increase in like quality came afterwards, and I don't know, they just changed the art direction a little bit, I feel like, when it comes to meshes and textures of objects. And I think it just, the items just look better every year. They already look great back then. Even the base game items are decent, but it just gets better and better. Like, look at this armchair, for example, from Lost Rock. All the details and the mesh. I'm just so obsessed whenever we get a new pack and I like take a close look at the items. I'm so impressed, and I just had to think of this because yeah, Get Famous like definitely has a different vibe, but I love it. Also, I remember when I joined the Sims community, when I started YouTube, when I started to upload videos, I think shortly after, a couple of months after this, Get Famous came out, and I think it was the first expansion pack which came out after I had started YouTube. And this was huge for me because I was so excited to like create content and to build, and then all the hype on social media because of a new expansion pack was like so exciting and amazing. And then like building with the pack and like showing it on YouTube. I think this is also why Get Famous has like a special place in my heart. It was like, I was so excited when it came out. And also Island Living. I'm forever obsessed with Island Living, especially because of Solani and the furniture. It's such a good pack. I know that like some people are divided on this when it comes to gameplay, and I never really play the game these days. I only build, but like from a builder's perspective, Island Living is so amazing. I think Island Living came out in summer of 2019 actually. It's been so many years already and I can't believe this. It's crazy. And recently was my channel's birthday actually. And yeah, like I started this journey here 6 years ago. I cannot believe this. Thank you to anyone who has been supporting me, by the way. Like, thank you for being here. And if you are here, like, since the beginning, as like one of the OG watchers this year, please leave a comment. It's like so exciting, but I feel like people come and go, and some people watch for a short time, some people like stay. I think this is so exciting, and I'm always so excited to like see names in the comments that I remember because you're always commenting and stuff. It always like warms my heart, and I'm of course always excited about every comment, and also about people who like recently found my channel. But I don't know, I just had to think about this. I'm getting like emotional because I had to think of the channel's birthday. But yeah, thank you so much for amazing 6 years. I'm so excited. And yeah, this is one of many bedrooms. I like did not include all the bedrooms in this video because it kind of got repetitive and I already showed so much of the exterior. But yeah, there are so many bedrooms and I'm just so excited that I was able to like fully furnish this and pull this off, because at one point it felt like such a huge project. I hope you like this. And yeah, this video is already slowly coming to an end. I hope you liked this video. I hope you liked the build. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so happy that you are here. And yeah, just a reminder, you can use code Emerald when you buy a Sims 4 pack in the EA app or the sims.com, and when you use my code Emerald I get a commission and you can support me in my channel. So thank you so much. If you should do this, or if you should consider this, or if you've done this in the past already, thank you so much. And yeah, here you can see all the screenshots and you can grab this from the gallery very soon. And my ID is KateEmerald. It's CC friend and modded in the gallery. I'm also uploading the tray files. And yeah, thank you so much. I hope you're doing so well. I hope I see you in the next video. I love you so much. Bye bye.